Okay, you're obviously curious about how you can level up your editing workflow, and I just happen to be here offering my 4-step process of how I edit videos for video packages that I sell for thousands of dollars. I personally use Premiere Pro, but this video isn't about the software that I use, it's about how I edit, which means the things that I talk about in this video could be done on Final Cut, DaVinci, CapCut, could even be done on iMovie. By the way, if you're interested in videography and photography, dude, this is the right channel for you. Let's turn this thing into this thing. I have 4 steps of how I do what I do. The last one will surprise you. First, I scour the web and look for the right music for what I'm gonna edit to. Sometimes I even do that before I go on my filming, so I can kind of have the edit in mind. That way I'm shooting to edit and not editing what I shoot, if that makes sense. After I've shot what I needed to shoot, I put it on my computer. I like to organize my footage into folders like these ones. Bro, those 5 minutes that I spend organizing my footage literally save me hours. You can also do that in Premiere, but I don't recommend, that's not how I do it. Okay, so now that I'm organized, I'm gonna start by adding my audio to my timeline. I listened to a few, and this one here is my favorite. I did this shoot for one of my favorite clients, Drake University Track and Field. My plan for this video was to make something fun and cinematic that shows the team and the work that they're putting in, and maybe announces the next race that's coming up. Also, not gonna lie, I got super lucky, and this filming happened to be during golden hour, so everything already looks great and cinematic because of that. I'm not even gonna have to edit the colors that much, because look at how this looks straight out of the camera. I'm gonna start the edit by laying in a really flattering shot of this girl. Typically, I like to start with an establishing shot, and this will work because she's wearing the school's name on her shirt. She's also in front of the stadium with the school name on it, and she's directly between me and the sun, which adds some natural sun flares. I like to start with an establishing shot, and this counts. Up next, I'm gonna go through some footage and add a couple more establishing clips. With my editing style, I like to establish where we're at, who's there, and what's going on. So I like to dedicate my first 3 or 4 clips to doing that. Okay, from there, I'm just gonna add some clips in and try to match the cut of the clips on where either every beat or every other beat is at. Let me play it out for you so you know what I mean. I'm also a little bit of a one-trick pony with this, but I like to add a lot of speed ramping, also known as time remapping, also known as putting it in slow-mo. It's a super easy effect if you don't know how to do it. In Premiere, you just right-click on the effects tab, you go to speed, and you can add where you want to speed ramp on the clip by holding command and then clicking on it. And you can also slow it down to 40% if you shot it at 60 frames per second and you're editing on a 24 frame per second timeline. If you don't know how to change timelines on Premiere, you just got to go to sequence, and it's right here where it says display format. You can also change your frame rate. So if it's a 1080p video, it should be at 1920 by 1080. If it's in 4K, it should be at 3840 by 2160. But yeah, I'm just filling my timeline, doing the speed ramping, and for this clip right here, I want to focus on this kid, but he doesn't stay in the middle of the clip the whole time, so I'm gonna nest this clip, which pretty much just means that you're creating a new clip out of an already edited clip so that you can edit it again. And then I'm just gonna do some keyframing so that he stays in the middle the whole time. This trick is best used when you want to speed ramp and then stabilize it. Okay, so now that the beat has dropped in the audio and the pace of it has changed, I also want to change the pace of my video. So what I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing with the speed ramping, but I'm gonna speed it up after I slow it down. So it's gonna go fast, slow, fast, slow. So now that I have most of the video done, I'm gonna throw in a little twist of something that I like to do when I film sports. I like to film a little interview. This could be with athletes, it could be with clients, and you could do it on pretty much any type of video. I typically do it on promotional shoots and sports, but you can even do it for wedding vendors, stuff like that. This helps to tell the viewers what's gonna happen later so that they have a reason to come back and watch the next one. It's just a little social media trick, I know. So I interviewed this kid about his upcoming race. I'm just gonna throw it in there, and I'm gonna throw in a little bit of B-roll of what he talks about so that it ties it all in together. I think that looks nice. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of sound designing. I'm always really intentional with my sound designing. Sometimes I can get pretty deep with my layering. But to keep this one simple, I'm just gonna use a little trick I use. I sometimes just use the audio of what I recorded at the shoot. So in this case, I'm just gonna use a little bit of the running, the cheering, and the sounds from the track. Audio is half the viewing experience. You don't wanna skip this step. It's a lot more interesting to hear the ambience of what's happening along with the music instead of just the music. Here's a little clip without sound design. No. And Here's that clip again, but with sound design. Immediately a million times better. The absolute last thing I do in my editing process is color grading. Like I said earlier, things already look pretty nice, so I'm gonna keep this simple. First, I'm gonna add an adjustment layer to add my color grade to. I do that because it allows me to stack the things that I do, so when you know that something is wrong, you can directly change it. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw in a little vignette on it. It just adds a little cinematic spice to it, and it's gonna be going on Instagram Reels, so you gotta stick out a little. Then I'm just gonna go through and make sure that every clip is around the same brightness. I also have to make sure that every clip is in the same color temperature, which means the whites are white. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my simple 4-step editing workflow. I do sports, short films, weddings, and promotional content. Let me know what kind of thing you want to see edited next. Video's about to play. Let me know what you think of it in the comments.
Hey guys, my name's Harrison Martinenko, part of the Drake track and field team. I'm a senior now, completing my 5th year eligibility, finishing off an 8x session, going 252 down through 245. Opening up at Iowa State next week, team's ready to go, and make sure you follow us so you can keep up with the season. Go Dogs.
Cool.